How can you build a product and build a brand without wasting a ton of time, blowing a ton of cash, or losing your mind? Well, this is a question that I've been asking myself year after year after year, and I've been building different little strategies, launch after launch of my products, my clients' projects, my friends' products, and I've seen little results that work, little hacks, little strategies, all layered on these principles that we have. And to connect with more people, I'm doing a campaign that I actually did years ago. We take a clean sheet of paper out, come up with a product, and launch it on Kickstarter. So if you've been following me that long, thank you. That's amazing. But right now, I'm in the middle doing this at scale. So doing it with hundreds, thousands of people watching. But I think we're on week 9 right now, from a clean sheet of paper to launching live on Kickstarter. So only in a few weeks, in 4 weeks, we'll be live on Kickstarter. So fingers crossed, but we're making great progress. And I wanted to check in with everybody. One, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to redbluecollective.com/product launch, or you could go to endhype.club. So I think I have my logo right here. You can see that's endhype.club, and it'll bring you into my private community, and you can follow, you can get all the recordings. But basically, week after week, I go live. I go live on Zoom in the private community. I go live on Clubhouse, and I break down what I've done that week, what I've done with my team that week, and what I've done with my partner that week. We talk through all the different little steps that we take to overcome those obstacles. Like, I don't have enough time. Oh, I don't have enough money. I don't know how to connect with customers. I don't know what market niche to access. So we can build a product business and a product brand that serves a group of people that we know and we care about. So I started this whole thing and I thought, hey, I'm going to work on a fitness product. I'm going to work on a fitness product for entrepreneurs that are trying to do these high stress, really, say, personal development, grit, discipline, focused programs. Things like 75 Hard, things like those associated programs, maybe training for Ironmans or other ultra marathons. What do they put themselves through, and how could I build a product that helps serve that community? Because I have access to a lot of those people. I've done a lot of those programs, and I could associate with those needs. But as I went and I started talking to more entrepreneurs, I realized that there wasn't a great problem in that I could solve with the fitness element of it, but the task management portion, the discipline to stay on focus and get those things done, the time management focus, the productivity focus element. As somebody with ADD and has struggled with this my whole life, and I like to think of myself as a pretty productive person, I've built my little life strategies around how I get things done, how I do time blocking, how I set aside time for me to think or have downtime, how I fill up my schedule so there's no fluff time in there. How do I get all of those things done? And I'm not perfect. I'm not the world's expert at this. I know some of the world's experts in productivity and in time management, and they're phenomenal. But I am an expert in building products and helping businesses that sell products grow. So I thought, hey, I can develop a product that uses some of the things that I've learned, but everything I know about product, and I can start offering it. So we go through this process. So I just wanted to check in with everybody and talk about, because if you don't know, if you don't follow, and if you're not in the private community, like, what kind of things are involved in what we learn about. So right now I'm on the redbluecollective.com/product launch page, and I actually listed all the live schedules and what we talk about each week, so you could really just follow along. But the first piece was just, what kind of customer are we going to serve? This is where people mess up. They think about their idea first. Like, I thought, man, I could make a really cool weighted vest. And if you've ever walked around in a weighted vest, lifting it over your head after walking a couple miles, it's so strenuous. You think there's got to be an easier way. But really, when you want to compete on ease with people that are doing difficult things, maybe that's not the best messaging or positioning play. But also, that product wouldn't help people achieve an aspirational identity. It wouldn't help them become the thing that they want to be. It would just relieve a problem. And I don't want to relieve a problem. I want to offer transformational change. So when I started connecting with people, I realized, like, hey, this group of people I have access to, I can get them on the phone, I can talk to them about their problems. And that's my really simple method for determining if this is a customer that I want to serve. I go out and talk to them. That's what we talked about week 2, is how I build go-to-market strategies based on customer stories. Where do they get information? What problems they have? What words they use? The messaging that they use? I started connecting that together. And when I did the activities in week 3, which is our competitive analysis, and I looked at, well, there's already fantastic versions of that product out there, but there's nothing in this one little white space. I realized that I could build a simple tech product, which is something I'm very comfortable with. So if you look at resources, what's available, like having access to mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, people that can do software or firmware or sourcing, manufacturing, like that's my world. So building a simple product, that made a lot more sense. But because we're doing this for you, for my audience, because there are people that are actually, this is so cool, they're building their brands and they're building their new product launches by following this thing. So over the course of the 90 days that we're doing this program, people are actually following along. They're DMing me, they're in the private community, and they're seeing how they can use these strategies that I'm giving away free week after week to do their own thing. I think that's so cool. But when we got to product sourcing, I showed people how we can use simple products. We can actually use private label products to really quickly launch, because we can take those products and we know that they're selling, right? We already know that they're at the level of market accepted quality that they can exist. We know that there's a supply chain for them. We know that there's a manufacturer for them. This alleviates a lot of problems, and generally the minimum order quantity is really low compared to inventing something from scratch. But what we need to do is we need to source that, figure out what that would look like. And then in the 5th week, we talked about putting it in a portfolio of solutions and really enhancing it with intellectual property. So that's kind of what I did, is I got a simple LED light cube. This means that I don't need to make my own injection mold to make this polypropylene part. All I have to do is take this piece out, and I'll make my own version of this. And I injected my intellectual property into this product, but I don't have to invent something from scratch, because, well, also I had to do it in 2 weeks. But that aside, this lets me move really quickly and at low investment. And I don't really have to guess if this is something that people want or what the broader market wants. I just have to talk to my people and see if the enhancements that I'm going to provide are something that resonates with them. So we started testing messaging strategy. We started doing that with interviews and started doing it with ads really quickly, and realized that we're onto something. That's what we talked about in week 6, feedback testing. I started doing prototyping. In week 7, we talked about that. I showed how to make a really, really simple pre-landing page. My partner, Samit, did this, and we used lead pages, really simple drag and drop builder, to start getting registrations very quickly. And right now we're running ads to that, and we're getting pre-registration, so people can pay $1 and they can guarantee a reserve slot for our launch. And that brings us to where we are right now, is pre-launch marketing. We're going to talk about content blitz, which you're kind of experiencing right now, because I'm going to put out a lot of content through live streams, videos, my Instagram, talking to people directly. And then we're going to move into the Kickstarter launch. So we still have to talk about building the Shopify page, building the real ads, making the video, making the campaign page, the different offers that we'll have for the actual product. And I have a few tricks up my sleeve about enhancing those offers and what we do as maybe not just a physical product, but maybe there's an information product that we might partner with. And we'll launch the Kickstarter. So that should be really interesting. After that, we'll show how we do pre-sales, how we do the post-sales. And I've got some plans, some Amazon people that might want to throw down in getting us into Amazon, doing FBA and scaling this thing up a little bit. But I think it's a really cool program. I know a lot of people, they charge a lot of money for this information, and we're just moving really quickly. I want to share that with everyone. But I mean, if you have a product, you have a product company already, hit me up, because I'm giving away this information week after week, and we're kind of getting this snowball effect of people that are following along that are thinking like, man, I'm a coach and I could launch a product. Or, hey, I'm a services business and I'm missing out because there's a huge additional revenue stream that I should be offering that I'm not. And you could do it with really simple products, and we can learn how to enhance the simple products very quickly and at low cost. You could be putting them out to your existing customers. If you have a list of 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 existing customers and you're not selling a product, you're not even selling merchandise, you're missing a massive revenue stream. It's just the way that it is. You're missing the tangibility of physical products, somebody actually touching it and communicating with your brand and your knowledge in their real life, not just through video, which video is amazing, or your blog or whatever, your Instagram. You could actually be something that they think of every day and they stay top of mind because it's a product that you've integrated into their life. So just a little different thing, but checking in. We've gotten great feedback on the ads so far. We've gotten great feedback on the actual function of what we're going to have the light do. And the costs are looking in line because we've already leveraged something that exists, and we know that I'm going to have a different board and different LEDs and there's different firmware, but like a lot of this is going to be very similar. And I don't really, as much as I'd love to, I don't have to CAD up anything new. I don't have to 3D print anything. I don't have to really worry about a lot of that elements that we generally do when I develop something more complicated. So kind of fun, but just checking in. Expect more videos like this because we're moving really quickly. We're getting into really talking about this, and it's very meta, is that this is a giant campaign talking about a product launch campaign, because I want to show people the process. I want you to follow it and be able to start your own business or grow your business using physical products. And I want you to make money. And then down the line, you think about it and say, hey, Callie was right about a lot of those things. I made it contextual for me. I learned a lot. We made some money. I want to reach out to him and see what else he can do, because I have this crazy idea. Everybody has $1 million idea. Everyone is an inventor, but so many people just sit on it forever. They don't take any action because they think, oh, I'd have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop an idea. Oh, I'd have to have a huge engineering team. Oh, I'd have to do all these things. And it's just demonstrably not true. And I say demonstrably because I am demonstrating it right now that it's not true. I'm doing this on a sliver of my extra time, if you could consider it extra time. We're doing it on a very, very low budget. I would say that our total budget for launching this product is going to be less than $5,000. Right now, I've spent maybe $200. So you figure like that, this is making something that is otherwise a massive obstacle very accessible. So if you have questions, comment down below, DM me, reach out. This has been really, really fun. It is very stressful, but this is teaching me to grow. It's teaching me what you need. And I am having a lot of fun with it. It's a lot of effort. So I hope you get a lot of value out of it. And if there's something that I can answer and give that special context to you, if there's a question that I can answer that will take you to the next level, please message me. That's how I come up with campaigns like this. This is how I come up with the topics for my podcast. A lot of it's just driven by what the community asks and what they need. So I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing Saturday. I hope you have great plans for Sunday, and you just walk into the week and you're ready to win, and then you're focused on that next thing that you want to do. So I appreciate you taking the time and watching this video, because we're in it a little bit. We've taken a little bit of extra time. So if you've watched a live video for this long, that's amazing. I appreciate you, but I'm out. I got a podcast to record. And if you're wondering what that is, it's End Hype. You can look me up, iTunes, top-rated podcast. We talk about product and a lot of the topics from the Ultimate Product Launch campaign. I go in really deep, The last episode, if you're watching this currently, is about collaborating with influencers. That was a really popular episode, but we go pretty deep into things like finding manufacturers, building teams, getting funding, all those sticky questions that people ask pretty commonly. But that's it for me. I'm out of here. Thanks.